Mr. Milt, what's your official time there, sir?
We've got exactly 1 minute.
Okay, Jim. So you're cool. It says on the agenda, the first page, it says 7:10.
Yeah, it's
So-
just a mess up from having a public hearing. Usually public hearings are time meetings,
Oh, gotcha.
but this program considered a zip inside meeting. I still have that to work out.
I had a Red Bull when I walked in.
10 seconds if that's close enough.
That's pretty close, sir. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We're going to start out with our roll call.
Aiken?
Here.
Fair?
Here.
Ernest?
Here.
Leap?
Here.
Scarborough?
Here.
Kenworthy?
Aye.
And Tobias?
Here.
All right, we have some special guests. We have Boy Scouts from Troop 1882 that would like to come up and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Scout salute. May the audience please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Next, we have a special guest that we've asked to come and speak, Pete Canlin, our Gainesville District Board of Supervisor. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Great.
Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late here.
You're right on time, sir.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to take a few minutes to address the Haymarket Town Council and everyone else here. I just want to take a few minutes to introduce myself. My name is Pete Canlin, currently serving as the Gainesville District Supervisor on the Prince William County Board of County Supervisors. And I've lived in the area I guess it's been about 12 years now. First lived in the Bristow area and then moved out to this side of 29 about 6 years ago. And I've been serving on the Board of County Supervisors for about 9 months now. I just wanted to give you a brief update on some of the things that we're working on within the county. First of all, just some of the projects that are going on around this area. One, we're on schedule for the 6629 Litton Hall interchange. That's moving along well. We're on schedule with the 66 expansion, adding additional lane on 66 coming out to 15, and then when that's almost done, then starting the redo of the 66-15 interchange, which I believe will help alleviate a lot of traffic and congestion out in this area. We're on schedule for the commuter lot to be completed in 2013. They're behind 7-Eleven on Balls Ford and 234. And then as most of you know, it's progressing well with the hospital up there, up the road, and then also with the Gainesville Library, which will be located on the corner of Leitner and Route 15. I also wanted to take a few minutes, if I may, to tell you about a project that we're working on. One of the things that I really wanted to try to accomplish as supervisors was to address some of our park issues, but do it in a way that we help alleviate some of the burden that we have on the taxpayers here in Prince William County. And so we decided to first target Silver Lake Park, which is just down the road from here. And so I went out and solicited support and funding from private organizations, community partners within Western Prince William County. So we reached out to Walmart, to Kohl's, Home Depot, and then also some of the community groups we have coming to help us out. Battlefield High School, which many of their student organizations, also their football team will be coming out and helping us. And we're going to be doing a service day on October 13th from 9 o'clock to 4:30. And if it's okay, I'll just leave some flyers by the door if anybody wants additional information. We're going to be working on a lot of different projects out there. I just wanted to read a list of just a couple of them. We're going to be protecting a Civil War era cemetery by putting a fence around that. We're going to be further establish nature trails that we have within the park. There's miles of nature trails. Some of them are kind of overgrown. They're not labeled properly, and we're going to help make those a little bit more accessible and help inform people as they're hiking on those trails. We're also going to be looking to install heating and air conditioning within the old boat rental snack bar that they have there. What our vision is to turn that into kind of a community, I don't want to use the term community center, but a place that people within Prince William County, that they can rent the area for rent or reserve the building for meetings or different type of events. What we really want to try to do is, I think it's minimal cost to actually restore the building, but we want to put heating and air conditioning in there so we could really extend the times of the year that they can actually use that building and make it a comfortable place. We also want to establish a more robust buffer between the park and Ronald Reagan Middle School. Some of the other projects is cleaning up limbs that are on the ground. They've got several planters in front of the building. So we have a whole full day of activities planned, and we've just been going around and asking different people, citizens, organizations, groups, to come on out on October 13th from 9 to 4:30 p.m. And help us out. I think we've got the funding, we've got the partners. We need the helping hands. And so that's what we're really hoping to do. I think it'll be a good model. My hope is that it'll be a good model for future endeavors, that we build a public-private partnership with organizations within the community so we can try and fix up some of these parks that we have. So I just want to take a few minutes and share those items with you.
I understand lunch is going to be provided too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Lunch will be provided, and the big thing is, we have the tools, we have the equipment. Just don't wear any open-soled shoes. We don't want anybody to lose any toes out there. But it really should be a fun day for families, groups. We just confirmed 30 Boy Scouts to come out this morning, and they're going to come out and help us out. Walmart is supplying between 50 and 100 employees to come out there. So we should have a couple hundred people. But we really, I think, the more hands that we have out there, the more work we can get done. And again, John Stirrup started this a couple years ago with trying to revitalize Silver Lake Park. I believe it's gorgeous out there. I believe it's a jewel that just needs a little bit more shining. And that's really what we're trying to do. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the time that you've given me.
No, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. All right, moving along here, we're going to go next to our public hearing. We're going to open up for any comments for the amendment to our adopted budget of 2012-2013. We'll ask for anybody that's in favor or opposed, if you could just come up and state your name and your address for the record. This is for anybody for a public hearing. Anyone? Okay, seeing no further comments, we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing and move on to citizens' time. Anybody would like to address the council, if you could just state your name and come up to the podium and your address for the record.
Yes, good evening. My name is Mike Finesse, and my address is over on Omlin Place, over on the other side of 66. So I'm not a resident of the town, but I'm here representing the Voter Election Services. I'm here with Tony Giuffre, who's on the board of the electoral board for it. I just want to introduce myself because I'll be the chief election officer for the precinct that will be here. I think it was introduced a month or so ago, that starting on October 20th, Saturday, October 20th, and for the 2 weeks thereafter, we'll be using this facility for an absentee precinct. And it's for in-person absentee voting on those dates, 9 to 5 on Saturdays and 10 to 5 or 7 on the weekdays for those 2 weeks. So I didn't know if you had any other questions about it. I mean, are there any facts, or just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page with what's going to be used as far as this facility, and any other general questions about voting. Everyone should have got their voting card in the mail the last few weeks. Again, that's one of the IDs that are available for obviously in-person voting, either on Election Day or if you have the proper reason to vote as an absentee voter.
Okay. Yeah, I do have some questions. I'll get to you, Ron. Is signage, I guess you guys will put up signs showing direction as far as,
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have a sign out at the road for this being a precinct during the hours that it's open, and then we'll put things on the doors as far as opening and the entrance, and then obviously we have, by state law, we have to put up certain signs for the voters to know about their requirements and their rights and things like that, and which IDs are needed, and the hours. Any particular signs you were
no, I was
thinking about?
just right.
Yeah, we'll be using the signs that we use at the standard precincts. This absentee voting is already going on at the office for the county. Again, any county voter can vote at this precinct. It doesn't have to be just local to the jurisdiction, but it's anybody in the county that's a voter that has that rationale for absentee voting can come in and vote in person at this or any of the other 4 sites that will be available throughout the month of October.
Okay, so this is sort of like a satellite office off of the...
Yeah,
the main road.
for
Right.
those 2 weeks. The McCourt building and our building starts, or your building, starts on October 20th for those 2 weeks, and then there's the DMV down in Woodbridge and the office up in City of Manassas. The county office is already open for absentee voting in person. Okay, and again, absolutely, we really appreciate and thank the town for the use of this facility. 4 years ago at the presidential election, I think we voted over at the old museum, almost 2,500 people in person. So it was a great deal of people going through there in those few days that we just had those little windows of time in those Saturdays. So we're going to have many more hours this time, and made available for, like I said, it is absentee. It's not early voting like you might hear on TV for other states, but this is absentee rationale they have to have. And again, the form states which criteria for being a valid absentee voter, and filling it out and signing it, then they can vote in person right here in the precinct on those days.
Okay, great. We did have one question, it looks like from the...
Just because we've had recent confusion with 2 physical Pace West buildings.
That's on Election Day.
Right, on Election Day itself, which building do the residents of Haymarket go to? For this district?
Old Pace West.
Old Pace West,
For this election in a month, or 6 weeks from now, would be I think, if you got your voter card in the mail...
I did, and it said 1,500, but I just wanted to confirm.
That's the old address.
That's the old address.
Right, that's because of the timing of things and making sure that the custodian and other people will make it available. I think it will be in the cafeteria of the old Pace West building. My daughter's working there. She used to be a student there many years ago. But yeah, so it's in the cafeteria of the old building for this fall.
Okay.
Great.
Any other questions?
Other questions? Thank you very much,
Again,
sir.
we'll be, this will be available, like I said, starting October 20th through November 3rd, Saturday, November 3rd, just before Election Day.
Great.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Any other citizens sign?
Ralph Ryan, 14920 Green Hill Crossing Drive. A Haymarket report card to date. So far, it's not looking too good. Even before the current council and mayor were seated, there were serious issues. Councilman Leake introduced a motion to dismiss all of the responses from law firms seeking to fill a position of town attorney. The then council, including Mayor Lee Scarborough, voted to approve that resolution. F, for showing every vendor that prepares a bid for the town, every vendor that reads the requests, does their due diligence, and submits their proposal, vendors who have followed a standard set of business ethics and practices, that all their work is meaningless and totally wasted. And an F for failing to follow Haymarket's own procedures. Mayor Leake wants to increase the town's budget to seat 2 more ARB members. Again, following business practices, the only time you increase a company's headcount is if there's an increase in business or you have an otherwise unemployable relative. The ARB workload has not increased, and yet Mayor Leake wants to have a greater number of people on the ARB than the town council. F, for fiscal irresponsibility for needlessly bloating the town's budget. Mayor Leake wanted to give Haymarket proffer money to a cause that is not within the boundaries. I'm not going to make a judgment on the cause. One that just got several $100,000 from the county. There's been much talk about trying to get a community center in the town of Haymarket. If the mayor is willing to give taxpayers money to a non-town project, then all it seems to have been was talk. F, for fiscal irresponsibility and indifference to the needs and stated desires of the taxpayers of Haymarket. Behind the scenes of Haymarket Day, there were a huge number of issues, one of which seems to be the mayor's desire to give the Rurikans free street space. At least that's the gist I get from reading 70 pages of public domain email. If that was the mayor's intent, it directly violated a contract the town has with one of its vendors. F, for failing to support the town's contractual obligations. There is a mark, other than F, I will give to the mayor. P for petulance. There are council work sessions scheduled at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays. These are called by the mayor. It's my understanding that during the 26th meeting, the mayor was in the building. He just refused to take a seat and convene the work session. Councilmen will show up, but no work was able to be done. The putative reason, the session was being recorded. One more F. The oath of office has the words, impartially discharge all duties. I don't see how any of the above can be considered impartial. F, for not abiding by your oath.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comment. Any other citizens like to address the council? Sure.
This is from Heather Ring, 14920 Greenfield Crossing Drive. I've got a major problem with the mayor and council holding secret, unannounced, and unpublicized or underpublicized meetings, which are deliberately held in the afternoon so that the majority of residents will not be able to attend. The fact that last month there was a video record of these proceedings mitigated that underhanded move somewhat. However, the video record for this month's work session is missing, and in my opinion, this makes the actions of the Haymarket's government look pretty shady and leaves the town citizens to wonder what Mayor Leake and the town council are trying to hide.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other citizens' comments? If not, we'll move on to the minutes. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from last month.
Second.
Motion before has been seconded. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, to the whole fish update. Mr. Swearingen.
The Hawfish house is we're about a week away from completion. I've got a commitment from our contractor to finish it by the 12th. We have a signed lease with the very thing. They're ready to go. The real holdup right now, or potential holdup, is that Dominion Power has not brought power to the building. They said that would happen this week, but I don't have anything closer date than this week. So we're really hoping that will happen right away. I did make a mistake in terms of calculating the amount needed to finish the work. So I'm requesting tonight that we move an additional $10,000 from the old post office building to the whole fish house. That would make the cost of both renovations $175,000. So we'll still be within the $350,000. And again, I've got a commitment to have it all done and ready to occupy, I hope by the 12th. Jim Lowry and I went through the building last week. He did a sort of preliminary final inspection. We got a kind of a punch list of what needs to be done. I made an agreement with the contractor to take care of all of the things on the punch list for the 6,800. That leaves me a small contingent amount of about $4,000 in case there's still one thing hanging out there that we really want to try to get done. I just have been holding off on that. That is the shutters on the windows. So we're really, we're going to try to hold out and get those done too. But I wanted to make sure that everything on the interior is ready to go. On the old post office, still a little bit to be done there. I'm expecting now that the best we can hope to do is maybe the first week in November to have it completed. I'm also negotiating with the contractor, the main contractor, to put together a specific time frame and a specific amount of money to finish it. We'll have that ready, I hope, in the next day or so, so that we can bring this thing in, go ahead and get it done, and hopefully get it occupied. I have had a continuing stream of calls from people who were interested in the building, but so far nobody has really come in to look at it or made anything more than a call of interest. Most of those calls are from agents, but I have had a few folks who say they are shop owners who are interested, but again, they've not come back for a second call or a visit. So we're still working on trying to get the building rented and still pushing ahead on trying to get it done. It has taken much longer than we thought it would. Part of that is just, I'll have to say, my inexperience in working with things like this, but we're getting there, and I think we have an end date for the whole fish house, and I think an end date is close for the other. But I am asking for that, the money to be transferred, and so that we can go ahead and get both houses finished.
Okay, just so I understand, so we're looking at to transfer the $10,000 over, but also it looks like there's going to need some additional monies for just outside
There are a couple of
parking
things,
lot
yeah,
repairs.
there's some
Is that
things
correct?
on the exterior of the building that need to be done. I've gotten a quote to install a new handicap parking space and a walkway that goes from the parking space up to the handicap ramp. The quote on that is a little over $1,400. I've also got a quote to put down another layer of stone to go ahead and get the parking lot in shape, and that includes the north side of the house in anticipation that we will use that area as the exit where their gate is now. We're also working with, we're going to be meeting with J2E, the company that's doing our, the planning of the master plan of the property. We'll be getting with them later this week to talk about it. I've already told them what we're doing here and what we're planning to do, and they're going to work with us to make sure that whatever we do here won't interfere with the bigger plan that they're working on. Part of what I'm hoping here is that tonight, with the money that we will have added to the budget as a result of the hearing, that we can take some portion of that and put it into the town center property so that we can draw on that to make the repairs and make the repairs to the driveway and the parking area, and to add the handicap parking space. And there will need to be some signage because the flow of the traffic now will go around the building, and the exit will be on the north side of the Whole Foods house. So we'll have to do some signage to make sure people don't enter at the wrong place and that they know where to go once they get in here. Holly actually has been working with me on that piece of it, and we'll have that ready to go right away.
Okay. Do we have any questions for Gene? Do we have a motion then?
I'll make a motion that we move $10,000 from the old post office budget to the whole fish house budget.
I'll second.
A motion that's been seconded. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Ernest.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy.
Aye.
Mr. Wright.
Okay. What about this for the parking lot? It's obviously that you need about, $4,000 moved over, because I don't think we have it as far as town center repairs or to get this.
I think tonight, we're recommending that we move 36,000 of the money that was just heard in the public hearing into the town center property account, the line item, and I would hope to move about 3,500 of that, or use about 3,500 of that for the improvements to the parking area and the drives.
Okay.
And the handicap parking space.
Right. Mr. Tobias?
Real quick, backing up real quick on the cost tracking that you had. I was trying to get you before him, but he didn't look over here. The post office has a water tap fee on there as far as the cost tracking, but the Whole Fish House does not. Explain to me why the difference there.
There's already water to the Whole Fish House, so
Not the water in the basement, right?
Yeah,
Water in the basement.
we're using the pump to take it out of the basement.
Recycle. So we didn't have to rerun it up.
We didn't have to redo that, and because of that, the tenant will not have to pay for water in the Whole Fish House. In the old post office, the tenant will, in fact, have to pay for water.
Okay.
So do we have a motion for the town manager's recommendation for this?
We don't have any money in that budget line item, sir.
Yeah, I think we need to wait.
We can't make any more
We'll wait
motions out of that budget item until we've actually funded it.
We'll wait till it actually goes to that time.
All right, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Not a problem. We'll go to our agenda items. Our budget amendment. And I'm open for any discussion. I do have a question for Lisa. The escalation for Alexander's Keep, have we got any kind of or determination of how we can apply?
For the actual escalator
Yes.
amount, the 23,000,
Yes, ma'am.
there's no, I mean, outside of using it for public good and public projects, like parks, or if we're talking about it, we could probably use it towards the money he needs in there.
So we could use maybe all the escalator for, in other words, it's not specifically limited to one of those.
The escalator amount would
Right.
be.
Interesting, okay. Mr. Spice, you have a comment? No?
There was silence. I was looking for you for direction.
Nope, just looking for the discussion. What do we want to do with this money?
Well, first and foremost, we have to amend the budget, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. And do you have a motion then, sir?
As per the packet, item number 6, as per the public hearing that we advertised, I think the budget would be amended as advertised in the public hearing to, if you look at the advertisement in the public hearing, modify the adopted budget as follows. The amended budget would include $197,808 in the use of prior year surplus for revenue, $200,112 in revenue under proffer/impact fee receipts, to bring the total revenue line item column to $3,559,365, to modify the expenditures categories as follows: town center property, changing it from $5,000 to $166,536. The general reserves, changing it from $58,569 to $289,953, to bring the total expenditures columns to $3,559,365, as advertised.
We have that as a motion.
So moved.
And do we have a second? Second was for Rebecca. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Bacon.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Harnes.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Enright and Tobias.
Yes. Sorry.
I understand item B, Gene, you asked to table that?
I did want to talk to the council about this.
We did, that was part of the public.
We do have a memorandum of understanding with the Prince William Soil and Water Conservation District to handle all of our erosion and sediment control inspections. As part of that, they also review any plans that come in, and we pay pretty substantially for those services. In addition, if during the course of the year we don't have a new project or a new project come in, we still have to pay under the MOU. We still have to pay the Soil and Water Conservation District a pretty significant amount to cover the cost of their operation. In other words, if they aren't actually doing a service for us, we still have to pay them so that they can stay in business. I talked to some other local governments in the area, at least one other that uses them. They have the same arrangement. They're not real happy with that arrangement either. A couple of weeks ago, each of you received a memo from the Soil and Water Conservation District regarding the way the two projects that are being handled here in town. I had drafted a response to them and suggesting that we would, we would continue to work with them to make sure that their inspections, that we handle their inspections reports properly, and that we will work with them to make sure everything is done according to what they had asked. In fact, we have been doing that. And in fact, I have been working with the developer to make sure that the erosion and sediment control work was done properly. D.R. Horton had not done a good job for a while, but about 3 months ago they hired a new site manager who has really worked hard to comply with everything that the erosion and sediment control inspector had asked for. And I have been working with him to follow up and make sure that they did that. I think the Prince William Soil and Water was not, apparently didn't like the speed with which this was taking place, and I certainly understand that. I mean, their goal in life is to make sure that no dirt and silt gets into the streams here. I mean, it's a very important thing, and that's what they do. That's what they're here to protect. And I felt like we were doing a pretty good job of that too. Since we got the letter, I have talked to a couple of other firms. I know Jen has talked to one firm, and I've talked to a firm that also provides erosion and sediment control inspections. We would not have to pay them for plan review. Some of the folks on the council may not remember, or probably weren't here this time last year. We were hoping that we could end this arrangement because we have a registered engineer available to us. She can actually do all of the ENS plan review. We don't have to rely on Prince William Soil and Water. But we don't have the inspector. And in negotiating with Prince William Soil and Water, they weren't willing to give up the money. So they called it a secondary plan review, and we still got hit with the fees. So that's a long explanation to say, I think what I would like to do tonight is ask you to table a final decision. I will talk to them and see if we can go to a month-to-month arrangement. And I'd like to see if I can find or really actually nail down an arrangement with one of these other companies that offers these inspections. I need to find out what they're going to cost. If there's anything that that Prince William Soil and Water is doing in terms of state reporting and that kind of thing that we don't know about. I just want to make sure we've got all of our bases covered. But my recommendation would be that we delay this at least for another month while I find out what actually is available to us out there.
All right. Any questions for Gene? All right, moving on. Item C, the purchase of the police cruiser. Speaking to Jim this afternoon, it looks like there might even be, besides A, B, and C, a D option. And I'll let you explain that, Jim, if you like.
The D option that I did not put on here is we have a balance in our budgeted line item for the police cruiser. We have a $34,000 line item. If we deduct the payments that we're currently making to the lease, with a balance of $13,001, you could actually put that cash combined with the police public safety proffer money and have a balance of $4,871.43 to come from possibly surplus funds or carryover funds.
Or the escalator.
Or you can get into all of the escalator. We're finding out now. So that's the fourth option. The budgeted line item balance of $13,001 plus proffer monies plus escalator money.
Okay. Discussion. District Vice?
Real quick, we need to go back to the item prior to this one to actually make an official motion to postpone the decision on that topic.
We're tabling? Okay, do you want a motion to table then?
We need a motion to postpone the decision, the debate of the item.
Is that your motion?
I'll be happy to make that motion, but we just need to make sure that we do it. Postpone the decision or the debate on the item pertaining to the Prince William County Soil and Water Agreement until the November regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
I'll take that on the second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Moving on to the discussion.
Which vehicle did you decide on, Jim? Which vehicle did you decide on? We have a spreadsheet here that's certain. The Explorer or the Intercept? The car. And we see the add-on prices totaling $32,566 to $37,650.99. Do we have a final number? Well, this has a range of $32,500 to $37,600, depending upon the add-ons. I'm not sure who put this spreadsheet together and what those add-ons might be, but
I did, but I don't have my copy of the sheet with which add-ons were what for the particular car.
So it won't be any more than $35,645.
no. This says up to $37,650.
$37,650.
Give me
You're
one.
looking at the.
Well, I am, but I'm just trying to find the right number there, buddy. Unless you want to find the number for me.
That's what you get.
That's what I figured.
All right, there you go. Very nice report.
Nice.
Any other questions for Chief, or do we have a motion here?
Working on a motion for you, Mr. Mayor. Takes a little calculating. What does the council feel about taking some of the money out of the escalator penalty that we've collected from Alexander Street and paying for the car in full versus financing any or all of the vehicle?
Okay, let's start around the table. Mr. Aiken, any thoughts on it?
I would prefer not financing if we could.
Okay,
Well, we can.
and
I'm
Rebecca?
fine with any way we want to pay for this. All of the options seem fine, so, I'm fine with paying cash for it. I'm fine if we want to finance it, so.
Okay.
I
Okay.
would definitely prefer not to finance it, as we'd end up paying more in the finance fees.
And I'll chime in a little bit here. I think, what was the interest rate? It was 4%,
3.75.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'd rather pay cash for it up front.
Cash.
Yeah, consumption.
Jen, are you sure? I did the math, but I left my homework at home. It's 13,001 left in the budget.
Yes. Here's Steve.
Make a motion to approve total expenditures of $36,000, not to exceed $36,000 for the purchase of a new 2013 Ford Police Interceptor Cruiser, with the money coming from $13,001 from the line item for the, under the public safety vehicle line item, $15,090 from the Alexander Keeps Proffers line item for police, fire, and rescue, $15,090.36, and $7,908.64 from the line item escalator penalty assessment from the Alexander's Keep proffer monies.
Second.
Motion that's been seconded. Discussion.
To amend my motion, to finish my motion, to state that it is $36,000, don't forget to buy nothing. Don't come back asking we've done nothing, please. Capiche?
And any further discussion? Seeing no, roll call vote, please.
Aiken.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy. And Tobias.
Yep.
Welcome, you have a new car. All right.
Discussion on that. Jim, this is going to be a marked unit or an unmarked unit? This will be your car?
Yes, sir.
And what are you planning, are you going to come to council in November with some options for your old car?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And moving on to our zoning permit application.
Make a motion to approve zoning permit number 20120906 for restaurant use to be located at 14950 Washington Street in accordance with section 58-177-13 of the town code for Euro Food Group LLC.
Have a motion on the floor, do we have a second?
Second.
There we go. Kat has a second, and discussion. Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Aiken.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy.
Aye.
And Tobias.
Great. Okay, moving on to our appropriations.
Per staff's recommendation and staff's calculations, and pursuant to the policies adopted by the Haymarket Town Council, the following quarter appropriation should be adopted as follows. Expense line item events, $1,875. Museum, $1,715.71. Operating expense, $77,820.80. Public safety, $24,448.50. Public works, $32,372.25. Staff wages and benefits, $197,44.50, and town-owned property, $86,418.50. So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Miller, a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Aiken.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Kenworthy.
Aye.
And Tobias.
Great. What else do we need to do? It sounds like we need to now maybe get you some money for that parking lot, right?
You could wait till the treasurer's report, Mr. Mayor, that'd be great.
If there's something you feel like needs to be discussed on it, I'll accept that.
Yeah, I'm going to need to ask council to take a break to confer with staff on those numbers.
Okay, not a problem. We'll go to reports. Mr. Lowry. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Great. Glad to hear it.
Making the right decisions, tell me where to operate, I'm doing just fine. I'll answer any questions you have. Advisory, one of the comments, last meeting was something for a question. In Long Street Commons, we complained about a house having trash around the outside of it. Went by there myself and did not observe the two pieces of trash and they very obviously were dumped by the trash company to fill out the containers. Rather than bend over, pick it up, and throw it away, they left it lay. The homeowner was not home. First time I went by, the second time I went by, the homeowner preferred I not come in. So Chief Jim and I will talk about it, make a decision on it going in there together. But from what I could see through the door, I did not see anything major.
I have one comment on that. I do have follow-up photos of the backyard of tons of trash in their backyard being left open, and complaints of mice and all kinds of other stuff.
We'll look further into it.
Okay.
I didn't want to give the lady a hard time. She said there were 2 or 3 kids here when I was there.
The trash that's in her backyard is bags and bags of diapers.
Okay.
That's what was in the front yard. It looked like it just fell off the trash. She's opened the doors and tossed them out.
She's tossing out her back door as well.
And her husband just put a roof on there 2 or 3 months ago. The roof on the house. So I figured we'd get a lot of roofing trash back there. We'd see all that.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Device?
Could you do me a favor off the best of your recollection, the building behind the ice rink? So when you're driving back there towards like Haymarket Motors,
Oh, it's got the tan siding on it now?
maybe. Can't say I paid that much attention to it.
But the metal building behind the ice rink.
Yes, sir. Are you aware of any outstanding violations or issues with a new occupant taking possession or getting an occupancy permit for that building?
I do know it will not be approved. Could not talk to the owner because the owner refuses to talk to me. He has his since the first day he wanted to work up here. He's replaced the skin on the exterior of the building and he's going to do something on the inside. He's going to retire rubber used to be.
Right.
I called his attorney last week, got his attorney on the phone, talked to the attorney about it. He said, well, what do you care what we do to it? I said, well, we'll take it from this end and paperwork right now. So we're in the process of printing a letter up that I can get Gene to look at and approve. We'll write the attorney and the owner another letter. The owner lives in Culpeper. And he doesn't have any tenants, but he's trying to fix the building up on the other side so it looks like it's decent.
He's in the process of getting a tenant, or is trying to secure a tenant for that space.
It'd be hard for us to get approval for a deal that won't be.
And he's told the tenant that, quote, Jim Lowry doesn't do the building inspections for that building, end quote. And I knew that wasn't correct, but I didn't know the history of that building. Aren't there some long-standing issues with the structure internally?
When I came to work here in '96, he had built the second floor in the first half of the building furthest to the railroad tracks. He built the second floor to put in 22 offices with 20-inch wide doors, plywood everywhere else. And he basically told me to get out, told Jack Cappy to stay. That was it. The job was handled by Mr. Cap. And basically, in the morning, nobody could move into the building. And then he got 2 tenants on the back side of the building, DJ Trucking and Landscaping, and another, and all the Volvo dealer, I think, is back here in the back. They got permits and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to bring the building up to grade. And he's trying now, since he lost Goodyear, he's trying now to get a decent tenant in there because the building's sitting empty. He has been made an offer by the ice rink to buy him out. Whether he will go along with it or not, I don't know.
Okay.
Is it okay if I give a prospective tenant your contact information so that you can
Absolutely.
discuss the ongoing issues with that building with that prospective tenant?
Absolutely, because there'll be permits and plans required, so it'd be good for me to talk to somebody that's going to be involved.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. Any other
Can you
comments?
CC me on this discussion you had with whoever the attorney is?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lowry. Appreciate it. Okay. Treasurer's report.
Can we lay that on the table until after a short recess to confer with town manager?
Sure. We'll move on to town manager's report.
Just some updates, and I think Holly will help me out with some of this. The good news is that the ad for the streetscape project has been approved, and it will be out, I believe, on Wednesday. So we are finally in the final construction phase of Streetscape. The proposals and responses are due on November 2nd. So assuming some amount of time for review, I'm thinking now early spring, late winter, before anybody can get started. But at least we now have an actual construction, the construction phase has started. So that's the last part of the project.
It's excellent news.
So the utility relocation, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to point out that by VDOT Richmond giving us the authorization to advertise, that obligated the earmark funding and stuff like that.
Oh, good, very good point. Go ahead, Mr. Swearinger.
So anyway, the utility relocation phase is now complete. I think Washington Gas is still doing a few things, but Verizon is done. So that piece of the project, the utility relocation, is just about ready to phase out. VDOT has installed, or almost installed, the pedestrian signals at the intersection out front at Washington and Jefferson. The only thing left now to do are the actual poles with the signals and the buttons to allow you to get across the road there. I also wanted to at least let the council know that Supervisor Canlin had asked VDOT to look at the possibility of maybe limiting left turns at the intersection out here to see if we could allow traffic to move a little faster. We followed up with VDOT and suggested that there may be some other options too. So they're looking at a number of options, including no left turn, stopping traffic 3 ways and only letting one proceed.
Yeah.
We're even looking at maybe having the lights flash and have police officers there. We're going to look at a lot of different options and see what we think is the best.
Okay.
The no left turn during certain hours of the day might be a good option, but I think there maybe are some others that would be better.
Yeah, I think the three-way stop would be much better, having 3 stop. I've had many residents say that they're just allowing one way to go,
Right.
green going north, green going south, green going east, green going west.
Right.
And that would alleviate a lot.
Yeah, it would.
A lot. And that doesn't then interrupt people's travel, and because there's a lot of people there that do need to go left.
Right.
And they're coming north or south on Jefferson, so.
You speaking about the on left going towards Gainesville?
Making a left at all.
Making a left
at all.
out of
Okay,
any.
then that's going to make our neighborhood a thoroughfare.
Correct.
Possibility.
It will take Longstreet Commons and turn that into a cut through completely.
It's just like
Just like
they have it
squeezing.
now.
Yep.
That's why that
Well, except
no
Wall
left turn
Street's
is
marked no
not an
traffic.
option.
Right.
So, because it's all private roads.
It's strictly residents, not.
Go ahead, Mr.
VDOT.
Tobias, you have your hand raised.
Since we're on this topic, I don't know how many of you guys got an email or saw your email at 5:49. I know we've had email problems with our server, but Maria Turner on Fayette Street actually had something to add to this, and she had noticed the item on the agenda, and she was curious as to where it said the town added to that request that VDOT look at other possible options to improve the congestion at the intersection. They are curious as to what other options did the town ask VDOT to look into? What additional information has the town provided? And what are we going to do about speeding and cut-through traffic down Fayette if we were to eliminate certain turns onto Jefferson Street? So,
I'll let
if
you-
Gene, you could make sure to please address Ms. Turner,
Sure.
based on whatever you're telling us tonight.
Sure.
Okay. Any other things in your report?
I think that was it for that item.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and go to the police report, then right after that, we'll go to a brief recess. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr.
I don't think he was
Actually,
actually
he's
done
not done with
with
his
the,
report.
he was
and
done with
we're-
that item.
I have a couple.
Sorry, I cut you short there.
Real, On the traffic analysis, do you have any idea when they intend to conduct that traffic analysis?
I don't. I talked to one of the engineers, and he said he would be in touch with me as soon as they have a schedule for doing it, and I have not heard from him since then. So that was about a week ago.
Would it be okay that once you find that information, that you instruct staff to blast it out to all the emails that she has for all the residents in town to let them know?
Sure.
And give them an update on what's going on with that intersection? Thank you.
How long ago was the traffic analysis done on Fayette Street? I know they've been out twice, and it wasn't that long ago that they were out there again.
That was question number 2 from Maria Turner, by the way, was what was the result of that traffic impact study? And because it was promised to them, and they've never received any information.
Can we make sure we get that information out as well?
And while we're on street stuff, her other option, or her other question in her email had to do with, was the school given, why is the school asking people to turn, where is it at? Why is St. Paul School asking their parents to make a left onto Fayette out of the facility when the school specifically requested not to impact Fayette residents with their traffic when they were approved for the school at that location? At that time, they were also asked to make an effort to assist in Fayette having Fayette dead end at Jefferson, which we've already looked at. We can't do that. So
Maybe you can address all those concerns, Gene, after tomorrow.
Yeah, we have sent a letter to the school because it looks like they're creating some problems on Payne Lane as well as
Exactly.
So,
are they the ones parking in the field beside the Colonel General Lieutenant's house, whatever he was? The gray house that's got the fence around it?
I think
There's
that
a
must
bunch
be
of
some of the
cars there every
teachers.
morning.
I think that's who it is. But we've asked them to send a notification about when they got their special use for this, the trailer that was put back there, they actually put together a parking and traffic design to get kids in there and out without disrupting traffic on Fayette and Payne Lane. And it looks like they have grown to the point where they're having some problems living up to that. So
Maybe it's just
Can we get more
a nice
shots of it?
reminder that we can send to them.
sure.
Yeah.
Get Marchant to look at it, because it sounds like they can't park their building anymore.
Yep.
Hi, Marchant.
What else you have there, sir?
The striping that VDOT did up and down Washington Street, they have, in fact, told us that they made a mistake, especially in that section from Fayette West. They have agreed to essentially eradicate the striping that they've done there, put it back where it actually belongs, which is a little bit south of where it is now, and then put the white stripe along the north side of the road in front of Giuseppe's, which is technically not a bike lane, but we're calling it that, and we wanted that stripe back in there, and they've agreed to do all of that. Holly, what do you want to go into that?
Just for a list of confusion, the reason it's technically not a bike lane is it doesn't continue up along the vacant parcel. If that white stripe is there, so that when that vacant parcel is developed, it can be continued.
Okay.
But it's not, the bike lane actually ends as you're going eastbound, or westbound, I'm sorry, at Fayette Street. There's even a sign that says end bike lane.
Got it.
Just to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
It looks like now it'll probably be another 3 weeks before the contractor gets back to do the changes here.
Clean it up, okay.
And then the 15 interchange, 566.
Basically, just what, I'm working with VDOT on the work that they're going to be doing on Washington Street, the I-66 Route 15 intersection, of interchange improvements. There will be significant work done on the Coral side because they're adding an addition, so another through lane westbound. So there will be 2. And so I'm working with them on what the typical section will be and what the impacts will be to Corals for both the parking and the streetscape that's already up.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
I do have one other request of the council. Turns out that both the town clerk and I will be gone the first week of November. We won't be here for the meeting in November. And I'd like to request the council we move it back to the following Tuesday, which I believe is the 13th.
November 13th. Great. Anybody have a problem with the 13th? It's a-
Moving the meeting from the Monday to
From the 5th to the 13th.
Great.
Saturday? No. Go to November.
Next month, oh.
Go to November.
All right, here we go, 13th Tuesday. Click on it.
Take just a second.
13th is a Tuesday.
Mhm.
Correct. Why not?
Because you
12th?
have planning commission on Monday.
Oh.
So we're
It should be
good?
all right, yeah.
Milt, you're good?
I might be late, but.
Milt, you're good?
I'm good.
Mr. Device? Lisa?
I'm verifying right now, but I should be good.
Great. Kat? Rebecca?
And I am good.
Again,
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Looks like
Jeez, we agreed on something.
so. Is that yes, Mr. Tobias?
Yes, I'll be good for that, sir.
Great. All right, there we go. We'll move it, and Jen, I guess we'll advertise that or change it on our website and all that stuff. Thank you. All right, great.
Last item on your report, Gene, was the enhancement project update advertising first week of October. Is that going to happen?
Yeah, that was the first thing we talked about.
Yep.
The advertising is going to happen.
It will, the ad will be out in the next couple of days, and kids will be back on the 2nd of November.
Excellent news. Okay. You're up, sir. Questions, comments, right?
Great pictures.
Yeah.
Great picture.
Yeah.
Great job.
Was it hit and run a car or a person?
Is it like the Sheets thing, or was it a Sheets incident?
Again?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Same difference.
Yep. Any questions for the chief?
Now that they've been open for a whopping 2.5 weeks or so, have you noticed any increase in any calls for assistance or anything like that having to do with, specifically that can be identified as having to do with Walmart?
Yes, sir.
Any other traffic accidents or any more traffic incidents that you can specifically attribute to? Can you keeping track of that for us, though, please?
Any other questions for the chief? All right, sir, thank you very much. We're going to take a brief recess for about 15 minutes. It's what, 8:02, so 8:17 we'll reconvene.
We should actually motion to take the recess.
Yes, you go, sir. Motion for recess.
Should actually motion for it.
Yeah, no motion for recess.
Actually, there is.
Okay, going back to some items that we tabled, treasurer's report.
So essentially, on the treasurer's report, what we have to do tonight is a couple of things. We need to move some money, if it's the council's pleasure, to hopefully finalize the Goldfish House renovation project. Secondly, we have to make the second quarter allocations or appropriations as per the spending policy. And I think that might be it. So essentially, based on talking to Gene, it looks like that in order to complete, or at least temporarily complete, the Hullfish parking lot and driveway improvement project, so that the business can be open for business and have handicap accessibility, et cetera, he's got one bid from a local company to provide for a ADA accessible access to the ADA ramp. He's for $1,450. He's got another bid for a local company for approximately $1,500 to provide the gravel and the grading of the north side of the Hullfish property for the, I guess what will become the exit for that property, and approximately $400 to $500 for signage. comes up to a rounded total of approximately $3,500, which, if it's council's pleasure, we could pull from the general reserve line item under expenditures, capital improvements, and move to the town center property expenditures under capital improvements. And that would leave us with approximately $32,772 in carryover in the general reserve line item, in addition to the remaining balance that was already there for the adopted budget. If it's council's pleasure.
Do I have a motion?
If it's council's pleasure. Apparently, as I'm
I think
enunciating that 4 or 5 times, it's not my pleasure. Therefore, I'm not going to motion it. I'm just telling you where to take it.
I will make that motion so we can get it up for business.
So that was to
Move it from the town center property funds.
No, removing it from the general reserve to the town center
Oh,
property.
well, from the general reserve, sorry.
$3,500.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. You got that, Jim? Great, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Take a milk second. Any discussion?
This is an added expense to the whole fish project, just as an FYI, and it's a temporary Band-Aid that may or may not have to be taken up or paved over or reconstructed when we move a little forward with the town center enhancement project that we have hired a firm to engineer for us, just as an FYI. And the fact that it's an added cost to the original project, which has currently exceeded budget by $25,000, which will now be $28,500.
So noted. And what's our first month's rent that we'll be receiving, Gene?
It ain't $28,000.
We'll be getting about $3,000 a month.
3,000.
From the tenant.
Okay, great. Any other discussion?
Technically, I disagree because it's the parking lot. It's town center property. It's not
It has nothing to do.
specific to the house, so that's just my.
This is just a Band-Aid we're putting on the problem, and I don't think $3,500 is that expensive for the Band-Aid.
No, because we have to redo it all anyway, so.
It allows the tenant to come in and all of a sudden generate now revenue that was not budgeted for this year, I don't believe, right? No. Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Aiken.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Harness.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Henry.
Nope.
Okay.
Make a motion to make the, well, I've already done that. Never mind. We've already done the appropriations.
Mm-hmm.
Treasury report's over.
Great.
Other than, Mary Lou, please excuse the lack of a column, and please forward any comments that you have for added additional information to me, as it is a work in progress with a new software system. We are working as fast as we can to make it right. To the extent that we're still working on this, well, correction, Gene and Jen and Sherry were still working on this, probably about 6:15 this evening. And I know Gene was working on it on Saturday morning.
Okay. If we're ready for our council time, any comments or let's start out with Mr. Aiken?
No, thank you.
Kat?
Yes. Verizon has started advertising installation around the town, and it is noted that we do not yet have a franchise agreement with them. And so that needs to be addressed rather quickly.
No.
That they need to pay us their dues in order to start advertising and going live with it. May I ask a question? Yes. What franchises do I need to get with you? We don't have one with Verizon.
We don't have a cable franchise agreement with them. We have one with Comcast.
And that's the point. We need a franchise agreement with them. Okay. Another item I wanted to bring up is in regards to the streaming of the work sessions. I just want to have it be noted that it is my only venue and availability to participate in those if it be streamed. If the times can't be moved to a later time, that's the only way I can participate in, develop questions, and actually have a say of any kind, or develop and be kept up to date with what that work session is doing. And so in not streaming it, you are denying me that, and it leaves me one step behind everybody that is here.
Understood. Okay. Rebecca?
Well, I just wanted to comment on another fantastic Haymarket Day. I think Spend the Day did a fantastic job. I just want to take the time to publicly thank the Vice Mayor and Councilman Kenworthy and the Councilman Scarborough and Harness, our Planning Commission Chair, our Planning Commission member, Ed Robinson, everyone with Spend the Day, Sean Foster, all the residents that live here in town and out of town that all came out on Sunday to help with the cleanup. Only took us about an hour and a half. Just fantastic that everyone in and around Haymarket just pitched in to fix the problem. Of course, another little housekeeping issue. We need to be a little more careful with our emailings and making sure we CC Jen on matters. She has proper record keeping, and we need to start CCing everyone, staff and council, make sure we're CCing Lisa on possible municipal issues.
Okay, great, thank you. Mary Lou?
No, I was just going to talk about the traffic tie-ups here, and we already covered that, so moving right along.
Great. Mr. Kenworthy?
Joe has asked me to ask the council who is in charge of his lighting.
He is.
He says he's not.
He's wrong. We've been telling him.
Does he have a time clock, or are they on sensors? He says he does not have a time clock. Anyway, his lights come on like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think these are on photocell, but we'll have to ask him.
So he's responsible for the
We
repairs?
installed it, but it's in through his electricity in his building.
He's responsible for repairs or not? Or it's,
No, repairs to the poles themselves would be the town.
But this is an issue with the timer he has on his.
if it is he says there's no timer.
It's a photocell. I think it comes on when it's cloudy
Yeah, but how about the rest of the town?
or dark. Those are on timers.
All the rest of them are on timers.
I'm not sure. No, I know Haymarket Station's on a photocell. Any of the newer stuff is on a photocell. Any of the stuff from 2002 when this phase was complete is on a timer, which is not as good. So,
Because another one's across the street from him on Louis' property, they were messed up too. But all of a sudden they straightened themselves out. Crazy.
those part. This whole phase west of Fayette Street is by the developers, the property owners themselves.
Okay. Well, I'm for him. I'll inform him. But if it's a photocell, then it's our baby.
Yeah, we'll take care of the repairs, but it is in his building, but we did install it.
Okay. That's all.
All good? Okay. Mr. Tobias?
Couple of things. Number one, Jen, can you guys please work with the Board of Elections and Mike? I didn't get his last name. He said it and I didn't write it down. Could you work with the Board of Elections and staff with Spend the Day in the Haymarket and coordinate town hall use and access for voters on October the 20th? They said that that's when it was supposed to start for absentee balloting. Not sure how they intend to coordinate that and bring that in when I think Town Center property is being used for Oktoberfest that day. Also not sure how that could potentially impact voters who need to drive up close to the building in order to get out of their vehicles and vote, if they have to park farther away, et cetera. So maybe everybody can make sure the police are, if someone's coming to vote, we can somehow secure them access to the voting. We'd hate to restrict or make someone not be able to vote because of a party. Secondly, Jen, if you could reply to Ms. Ring's email on my behalf and anybody else's behalf who wants to tag along, since I didn't get the email from Ms. Ring, that understand her concerns with the 3 p.m. work sessions. However, it's been noted numerous times that that is a good time, and we're trying not to impact staff as much as we possibly can, and that her concerns are duly noted, but she can rest assured that no work session was actually held last Wednesday, so she didn't miss anything, which is why there's no video. Which brings me to an apology on my behalf to the folks who were watching online last Wednesday. We had a snafu with our communication plans, and as a result, there ended up being no meeting that day. There was apparently some pretty lively watching on the video of the things that were transcending behind the scenes, but there was no meeting that day, and therefore that's why there's no longer a video. But that being said, I'd like to put that issue to bed right away and recommend the council adopt as follows the following resolution or policy, if you would, pertaining to live streaming via webcast and recording of all town business. All meetings and work sessions of the Council, Planning Commission, Architectural Review Board, Historic Commission, and Board of Zoning Appeals will be aired live via webcast and recorded. Any additional gatherings may be aired via webcast at the discretion of the town manager when in the best interest of the public, notwithstanding technology failures, power outages, and other complications beyond the control of town staff. Copies of the broadcast may be obtained via the town's website by download. If a copy of a meeting is desired from the staff, charges may apply. So moved.
Second.
Okay, it looks like we have a motion that's been on the floor and seconded. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries.
Lastly, Lisa, a couple of weeks ago, we had tabled an agenda item that had to do with something that Mr. Ring brought up in his discussion earlier pertaining to possibly adding to our budget line item and adding some ARB appointments, and we actually tabled that, which means that it technically can be brought up again. How would I get rid of that altogether right now?
I thought it was gotten rid of.
Well, it was tabled, which means it can be brought back up at any time by a motion to
I didn't even know it was tabled.
Wouldn't you just vote on it?
No, you motion to bring it off the table.
You motion to bring it off the table, and you motion to
just
say.
dissolve it?
Dissolve it. Or,
Can you throw that on the agenda for November, please?
And you can bring it off the table.
I'd like to do some more research. Would you be so kind? So ARB appointments. I think that's it.
Anything else? Kat, you'd like to?
I just wanted to, on regards to the voting that's going to be happening here, if you can make sure that they don't interfere with any of the HOA meetings that do start randomly at 7 o'clock on given dates throughout that time. And make sure that they're free and clear and out of here before our meetings start.
Well, I think voting has precedence on that.
Yeah.
I think state law is going to trump any HOA session on that.
Yeah, but I think they close
But
at.
they usually close at 7 anyway, which
But
means
they'll still be here.
they'll have to wrap up and clean up, but they obviously won't try to impact any HOA meetings. I forgot one thing, Mr. Mayor, if you could.
Go ahead, Mr. Vice.
One of the things that I had spoken to Supervisor Canlon about having to do with the Silver Lake cleanup project and his request for manpower, donations, et cetera, brought me back around to his original request and an email from Mayor Leak to his office pertaining to how for us to use the proffer money pertaining to parks and recreation, et cetera. And I'd like council to take some time to think about that for the November meeting. We've had numerous requests from organizations, whether they be teenagers who want a place to skateboard, whether they be active residents who want a place to jog, whether or not they be teenagers and or adults who want a place to play basketball. Maybe one of the things that we could consider with that Parks and Rec money is maybe working with the County Park Authority for Silver Lake to see what kind of plans they have for any of the above, and maybe we could see about allocating some of our profit money towards a specific project with some sort of recognition that the money came from the town of Haymarket via the Alexander's Keep profit monies. Or if council would be more inclined, maybe we should really strongly start looking at as part of the town center improvement project, some sort of activity zone in the town center property, that we might be able to use that profit money. I don't want to sit on this profit money forever, because there may be a clock ticking on the use of it, and I'd hate to see it run out and us have to write a rebate check to the builders when there's obviously a use for that money, whether it be directly in town or in the vicinity of town. I'm not opposed to doing it outside the town at, say Silver Lake or Long Park or something like that, or any combination thereof, or even the elementary school. If there's 7 minds up here who probably can all come up with at least 2 good ideas,
At least?
a piece, that, we can take some consideration to, because the same holds true for all the proper money. Obviously, we spent the police department proper money tonight, but, let's not sit on this forever. Let's try to make some rapid decisions and put the money to use in the economy.
Agreed.
Good point. Okay. Any other comments? All right, I guess we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll move the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for your time.
Gene, do you want a copy? Do you want these?
Yes, please.